Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the 10 best lightweights in the game right now. Now, I want to say this is not a pound for pound list. This is not a pound for pound list. So the resumes, belts, and accolades, all that I did not account for. What I did account for is their skills and abilities. So basically the eye test, and of course who they fought and how they looked against their opponent. I just wanted to clarify that before I get going. So obviously it's no secret that the lightweight division is the hottest division in boxing right now. You know, it's very stacked, and it's not just top heavy. You know, there's not just one or two or three guys that run the show. No, I actually think that the top 8 guys can beat each other, but that's just my opinion. You know, it's definitely a stacked division full of young cats, and a few of them are actually pound for pound worthy right now, which is crazy. It's definitely an exciting division, and it'll stay like that for years because most of these guys are under 30. They're in their prime or they're about to enter it in a few years. Now, I divided the top 10 into 4 different tiers. I put certain people in certain tiers because I believe that's who they fare well against. Basically, I'm saying that the people in their tiers are the people that they'll most likely have a 50-50 fight with. I hope you'll get it. Before I start my list, I just want to shout out my honorable mentions. These guys have the potential to crack the top 10 by the end of this year, so definitely do not sleep on them. And they are Williamzepeda, Raymond Murataya, Floyd Schofield, and Abdullah Mason. Yo, keep your eyes out for them because they could upset anyone in the top 10 for real. But anyways, in tier 4 at number 10, I got George Comboso Jr. You know, after losing twice in a row to Devin Haney, if I'm being honest, I didn't really think much of it just because, you know, Haney has the case to be number 1 in the division. So I thought, you know, not that big of a deal. And, you know, styles make fights, and Haney's style just beats him, like point blank period. But after the performance he had against Isaaccruz, where I thought going in he would kill Isaaccruz since, you know, it's his bounce back fight, but that did not happen. In fact, a lot of people, including myself, thought that Maxi beat him comfortably. So I just think the blueprint to beat him is out for the world to exploit now. He did have that one major upset against Teofimo, and that was great. But ever since then, it's been L's and disappointments. I still think he's a good player for the division. He'll still be in good, entertaining fights, but he is on the verge of leaving my top 10. At number 9, I got Issa Cruz. You know, this guy's a very game fighter. He's very entertaining and has a crowd-friendly style. You know, he's your typical come-forward fighter, but with a peekaboo guard, which is very rare. You know, they call him the Mexican Mike Tyson. But if I'm being honest, I just don't think he'll fare well against the people in the higher tiers. You know, like Comboso, I think he'll have fun fights against the likes of Zepeda and Comboso himself. But the people above him, I just don't think he wants any smoke with him because he'll get smoked. Moving on to tier 3, I actually got 4 people here. And at number 8, I got Jermaine Ortiz. This guy is very good, man. I feel like people sleep on him for some reason, but he's very athletic and he's huge for the weight. He has some quick hands and feet, and he performed so well against Lomachenko. A lot of people actually thought he won. I don't think that way, but you know, there's an argument. Anyways, yeah, a problem for literally everybody in this division. This is what he is. In my opinion, he is no easy task for nobody. I don't care if you're number 1, number 2, or number 3. He is a tough out. At number 7, I got Frankmartin. And I know that might have pissed a lot of people off, but I will say that from number 5 to 8, I think all 4 of them are interchangeable. It just depends on what you like. Now, I know he still won, and I know Artem Harutyunyan is the best opponent between 5, 6, and 7. But we still saw a little bit of weakness in his game, and I think that's why he's at number 7 for me. But like I said, all interchangeable. Up to you. At 6, I got my favorite boxer in the game right now. A very, very polarizing fighter. I got Keyshawn Davis. Yes, this could possibly be a biased pick, but don't get it twisted now. Frankmartin is also someone I rock with. In fact, that whole Derrick James roster I rock with. But Keyshawn and Frank are 2 people I really go back and forth with on who I think is going to win. But, you know, ultimately, I ranked Keyshawn a little bit higher just because of his experience and amateur pedigree. Frank started boxing at 18 and had like 30 amateur fights, while Keyshawn has been at this since he was a kid, man, and he was a silver medalist. I feel as though if they fought, it'll be razor close, but I think Keyshawn's experience will help him pull it off by a round. I just feel he's seen more and will adjust better, but that's just me. They're definitely on par though, so Keyshawn at number 6. And what I believe to be my most controversial pick is Andycruz at number 5. Yes, the guy that only has one fight, but hey man, if we're being honest with ourselves, from that one fight we saw, this guy is special. Fundamentally sound, quick, great defense, fast hands, fast feet, smart, great footwork, and a gold medalist. Defeated Keyshawn Davis 4 out of 4 fights in the amateurs. I mean, come on, man. This guy, if he ain't already, will be a major player in this division. In my opinion, definitely has potential to be number 1, but I will admit I am really, really, really high on him. Higher than most. So yeah, Andycruz at number 5 to round up tier 3. Now at tier 2, I got Devin Haney at number 4. And I know this is going to piss a lot of people off or confuse people because, he's undisputed. He has all the belts. How is he not number 1? Blase, blase. But if it was a pound for pound list, then yes, no doubt he should be number 1. But he beat one guy to get all those belts. And that one guy he beat, those 2 wins he got from Combosos, ain't aging very well, man. I mean, look at Combosos now. In most people's eyes, he has 3 straight losses and 1 against your average Joe, relatively speaking. I mean, no disrespect to Maxi Hughes. Haney also lost in most people's eyes, including my own, to a 35-year-old Lomachenko who he had every physical advantage over. I don't want to come off as hating, even though that's exactly what I'm coming off as, but Haney is really, really good. And I think his chances of beating Loma in a rematch is very high. But as of right now, it's hard for me to put him over him. So I got him at number 4 behind Loma, who is number 3. The guy who should truly be undisputed right now. Loma, the only one on this list older than 30. And he's still a problem. Former pound for pound king and still showing why in his mid-30s against someone who is in their prime right now. And not just anybody. We talking about Devin Haney. Not much needs to be said on this. We all saw his most recent performance, man. Now, moving on to tier 1, I got the 2 people who you can literally argue for or against. And those are Tank and Shakur. But, I got to say, I got Tank at number 1 and Shakur at 2. Because I just feel like Tank has shown me more. We've seen Tank in bright lights and big fights. And he stayed calm and composed in those high-pressure moments. Tank also has that equalizer, you know what I mean? That one punch knockout power. People need to stop labeling this guy as a power puncher too, because he can box. I think he's the most complete fighter in the game right now. This guy is smart. He has great defense. He's patient, calculated, and has bricks for hands. He got those 2 hammers, man. He also has shown that dog in him, especially against Cruz, where he fought with one hand because he injured the other. I mean, come on, man. We can't doubt this guy anymore. He's just shown the most, man. I mean, he can knock you out. He can outbox you. He can fight going forward, going backward, going lateral. He'll set you up. He can beat taller people, bigger people. I mean, come on, the list goes on. Tank is number 1, and rightfully so. But Shakur ain't no joke either. And that's why I said that I've been flip-flopping between these 2 and who's the best. He has amazing defense. This dude cannot be hit. I believe that he's actually number 1 in most defensive stats. He's a great counterpuncher, very accurate, extremely high IQ, amazing footwork, and seems to have gained power at 135, man, after he knocked Yoshino, I forgot his last name, but the Japanese dude. Definitely has the ability to beat and outbox Tank, and he sure has the physical advantages in that matchup. That fight would be a 50-50, another chess match like Haney and Loma, but I think these 2 can actually knock each other out. But for now, until proven otherwise, I just think Tank has shown more, and that's why he's number 1. But yeah, that's my list. But yo, 2023, man, it has been one hell of a year so far. But if these guys mix it up in 2024, that year definitely has the potential to one up 2023. I'd love to see Frankmartin versus Keyshawn. They got that beef going on, that friendly competitive beef. I'd like to see Keyshawn versus Andycruz because of that amateur rivalry. Haney versus Loma too, since the first one was very controversial, but I know Haney don't want that smoke. Haney versus Shakur, because, you know, they've been jawing at each other for months now, and they've been fighting since they were like 14. The biggest fight is Haney versus Tank, you know, the two winners of the two biggest lightweight fights this year. And Tank versus Shakur, I think, is the craziest one. Is one for the ages. Tank versus Loma would also be awesome. As far as for entertaining fights, yo, put Zepeda in there against Issa Cruz, yo. That would be a war. Man, there's so many fights to be made. This division is wonderful. But anyways, y'all, tell me what you think of the list. Do you agree or disagree? And if you don't, tell me why in the comment section below. And if you got time, drop your list down below as well. You know, drop your top 5 even, so we can have a conversation. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.